Hi, welcome to My Plate, My Life. Today we're making egg fried rice. So stay tuned and let's get started. Alright, the first thing we want to do is get our rice made and go ahead and add our dry rice. And next we're going to go ahead and add what I call our fried rice broth. It's a combination of stuff, and no, there's no soy sauce in this recipe whatsoever. There we go. Now we'll go ahead and just put this on. If you have a rice cooker, use them. These are worth the money, absolutely.
I would like to begin with a poem in old-fashioned guitar.
Get on the dance floor.
Fried rice is done. What we're gonna have to do is we have to get this cooled off. So, and the reason we want to cool this off is because water and oil don't mix. This needs to be dry. It needs to be dry so this way when we do fry it, it doesn't get all pasty and all that from the oil. There we go. Now, don't mind the brown. That's just from the rice cooker. That's fine. And what I do, this neat little device actually comes with the rice cooker, so that's kind of nice. We'll break this up, and of course once it becomes cool to the touch, it'll be easy to go ahead and crumble this with our hands. And you could, I don't know if it shows, but I could definitely see the steam coming off of this. And again, I just want to try to make this as thin of a layer as I can, so that this way it cools as quickly as possible before we fry it up. Alright, that looks pretty even. So what we'll do is put this in the sink, and we'll go ahead and move this to the side. While that's cooling, we're going to go ahead and thaw out our peas and carrots. I always get frozen peas and carrots. If I'm going to use any not fresh produce, it's always going to be frozen, because these frozen produce is flash frozen, whereas you get produce in the can, it's been sitting in that can of water for weeks, months, years, who knows. So this is definitely going to be a little fresher for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this open and pour some peas and carrots in here. It's about right. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add water to this just to help it thaw out, because anything thawed out in water thaws out a lot faster at room temperature, or even if you put it in the fridge. Then anything soaked in water thaws out faster than thawing it out just by air temperature alone. So you can see we've now got this sitting in water, which is fine. And while that's cooling off, that's warming up and thawing out. We're going to go ahead and get our green onions cut up. Now, the last thing we'll do will be the eggs, but we're going to go ahead and do that right as our pot or our pan for our fried rice is heating up. That's when we'll go ahead and get our eggs scrambled up. So, we'll go 3 green onions. Just kind of give a little flavor. Again, we'll give these a quick wash. And when when I cut, I'm always bending my knuckles like this, so this way the blade runs up and down it instead of chopping my fingers off. And of course, that's a nice way of being able to just look somebody in the eye and cut anything without cutting his fingers. All right, there we go. We've got our green onions cut up, and we've got our vegetables, our frozen vegetables, thawing out. Now, I could put these in the microwave, but it's been in my experience that sometimes putting them in the microwave tends to dry them out as it warms them up. That's my opinion. At least this way, if they dried out at all during their flash freezing process or their life in the freezer, at least soaking them in water will help to rehydrate them. So we're going to go ahead and do that. You know, that's going to be a benefit of soaking this in water as well. Now I'm noticing as I'm touching this water has gotten, here we go, this water has gotten quite cold. So I'm going to go ahead and rinse this water out and then replace it with tap water just to help these thaw a little quicker. There we go. And now that's tap, just regular temperature water out of your tap. So we're going to go ahead and stop for now, wait for this to fully cool off, which it might be 20 minutes to 30 minutes, and then we'll come back and pick up where we left off. All right, welcome back. It's been about an hour. Let this cool off. Clearly, fried rice is not something you make quickly, so you want to kind of plan ahead. Take a look at our peas and carrots. You can see they have swollen up. I'm going to go ahead and rinse them out so that they're not as wet as, well, they're not too wet anyways, because we don't want to put really wet vegetables into our hot fried rice pan because water tends to spit and splatter once the oil gets hot, and it's not good. So we'll give these a quick rinse. There we go. Just let them kind of drain in that, do their thing. Are we going to end up using all this? With this recipe I've written, I've kind of let you guys decide exactly when you make this. Do you want this to be peas and carrots heavy or peas and carrots light? So I'll let you decide how much or how little you put in there, and then we can go from there. Now, something else we're going to go and do is get our eggs scrambled, but before we do that, you could see, now that our rice is cooled off, you could see this is definitely lighter. I could sit there and break it up into smaller pieces, and it's not all wet and clumpy, which is exactly what we're looking for. We want it to be drier. And I mean, we're not talking like bone dry, like it's never been like steam dry, but definitely not wet and steamy, because it's going to, of course, if it clumps up now, it's going to probably stay clumped up, so it's going to be kind of hard to work it once we go ahead and start frying it up. So that gives you an idea as to where we're at with this. We'll go ahead and move this aside. Let me wash my hands. Now, when it comes to what you're going to prepare this in, you can go ahead and prepare this in a big skillet. Ideally don't use, if you could avoid it, don't use a non-stick. Avoid non-stick pans only because if you've ever had non-stick pans for a while, you understand that they don't play well with high heat. It breaks down the elements that make the non-stick portion of your pan. So if you have an aluminum pan or something that does not have that non-stick coating, go with that. Now, if you happen to own a wok, use it. Let's wok it. So we're going to go ahead and put this on. Now, because the wok, in all reality, the surface tension to the wok is very low because most of the wok is above the heat. So we're going to go ahead and turn our flame up, or our flame. We're going to turn I have electric, so we're going to turn this on high because I want this to get hot. I want not only the bottom to be hot, but also the heat to work its way up through the walls. So we're going to go ahead and put this on high. Give that a few minutes to get hot. We understand that our rice is ready to go, so we don't have to do anything more with that. We understand that our peas and carrots have been drained, so we don't have to worry about them being too wet. Now, you saw me putting it in the strainer, and you could see. Can you see that? Clearly, yeah, there's some water at the bottom here still. So putting it in the strainer, good idea. Now, we're gonna go ahead and get our eggs quickly scrambled up. We're gonna go ahead and season them once it goes in the wok. So we'll just add a little flavor to the eggs, but we don't have to go too far because we'll have a lot of flavor in our rice. And of course, once this all is done, believe it or not, we've had the rice we made up, that's technically 6 servings of rice. So you can technically get 6 servings out of this if you want to use the ideal serving size, or basically serve this up as you wish. Now, because the nature of the channel is all about helping you make healthy foods, especially for those of us who don't have a lot of time to cook, this made up in advance, this can go 3 or 4 days in the fridge without too much concern. So this will definitely work for you, especially if you want to add this to a week's worth of lunches or something like that. So we got this ready. I can feel the heat, and we can start to see the smoke on our wok come up, so we know this is getting hot. So let's go ahead and get this frying. As you can see, it's smoke coming off of the oil that's sitting in the wok, which is fine. We're going to go ahead and bring this down to about medium high because this is definitely the temperature we want. Now, traditionally, we're going to go ahead and flavor this with butter. However, because butter burns under high temperature, or you get what they call brown butter, which has a smoky, nutty flavor, what we're going to go ahead and do is give this just a quick douse. I'm using olive oil today. You can use vegetable oil if you need to. It's really going to come down to whatever you like personally. There we go. And now when we add our egg to this, this is going to go really quick. Really quick. This will be cooked up in a heartbeat. I don't have wooden utensils, so we're going to go ahead and just use rubber spatula. Clearly this has gotten a little too warm, so I've taken this off. Oop. One moment. All right, I'm back. Clearly, yes, you could, as you could hear, it definitely got a little hot in here, which is fine. All right, but now that we've got our egg cooked up here, and I'm just kind of stabbing it to make it small pieces and such. Now we're going to go ahead and add our fried rice into this. All right, that's good enough. Now is the time we're going to go ahead and add our butter, because we definitely need to fry up our rice with something, because we didn't put that much oil in this, despite the smoke detector. But we definitely need more in order to get our rice to fry. All right. Now, we'll go ahead and add some of our peas and carrots. And you can see this is going by pretty quick. We just have to basically bring everything up to temperature now, let the butter do its thing, fry it up. And now because we have a lot of rice in here, we don't have to worry about our butter or any additional butter browning on us, because the rice will help keep it cool. All right, what do you think? A little bit more? All right, we'll finish off that. And how much or how little you put in here is really going to come down to your personal taste, your personal preference. And of course the last are our green onions. I happen to like green onions, so we're using all that we cut up. So if this looks like it has more stuff in it than most Chinese egg fried rice that you out and buy at restaurants, perhaps, but it's made to your liking. All right, give it just a little bit more butter. And we're all set now. And while our pot was really hot before, clearly with a bunch of food in it, it's not going to get as hot. Unless, of course, we really let it just sit here for a long time. And here we go. Perfect. All right, we're all set here, so we're going to go ahead and transfer this on to a bowl and serve it up. All right. Here we go. Go ahead and serve some up. And you can see for yourself exactly how good this really looks. Oh, that looks really good. Yep, let's go. Fork. There you go. Egg fried rice. Hot and fresh and delicious. That's all we have for this week on My Plate, My Life. If you'd like to get the recipe, go to myplatemylife.com. You can find the recipe there. Be certain to subscribe to this channel down below. Feel free to leave your questions or comments. I'll be certain to address them. And be certain to sign up for the newsletter at myplatemylife.com. Be certain to subscribe below, leave your questions or comments below, and I'll see you next time on My Plate, My Life. What's on your plate?